The story of Lamar Odom is not just about fame, championships, or Hollywood headlines. It's a haunting, deeply emotional journey that nearly ended in tragedy. And now, with the release of Untold, The Death and Life of Lamar Odom on Netflix, the world is finally seeing the raw, unfiltered truth behind one of the darkest chapters in sports and celebrity history. What really happened behind closed doors? How did a beloved NBA star spiral so far out of control that even he admits it almost cost him everything? And perhaps most shocking of all, how did the people closest to him respond when his life was hanging by a thread? At first glance, Lamar Odom's life looked like a dream. A two-time NBA champion, a household name, and a reality TV star thanks to his high-profile marriage to Khloé Kardashian. Together, they became one of the most talked-about couples in pop culture, appearing on shows like Keeping Up with the Kardashians and living a life that seemed glamorous and untouchable. But behind the flashing cameras and red carpets, something much darker was unfolding. The documentary pulls no punches. It dives straight into Lamar's battle with addiction, a battle that quietly escalated over the years until it exploded into a near-fatal overdose in 2015. What makes this story even chilling is how close he came to death. According to Lamar himself, he suffered multiple strokes and heart attacks during that terrifying incident at a Nevada brothel. It wasn't just a wake-up call. It was a miracle that he survived at all. But one of the most emotional and shocking revelations involves Lamar's own father, Joe Odom. In a moment when Lamar's life was hanging by a thread, Joe reportedly suggested something unthinkable: to take Lamar off life support. Imagine that, a father standing at the edge of his son's life, ready to let go. It's a detail that leaves viewers stunned, questioning how such a fractured relationship could exist at such a critical moment. And then enters Khloé. Despite their rocky relationship and the pain Lamar's addiction had caused her, she stepped in when it mattered most. She took control of the situation, refusing to give up on him. According to the documentary, she even went as far as locking down his hospital room, protecting him from outside interference while he was incapacitated. It wasn't just loyalty, it was survival. She became his shield when he couldn't defend himself. But Khloé's role in Lamar's life wasn't without controversy. In a brutally honest moment, she admits she may have been an enabler. It's a word that carries heavy weight, especially when you hear what she describes: sneaking into hotel rooms before housekeeping could arrive, cleaning up evidence of drug use, hiding the truth from the public. It paints a picture of someone desperately trying to protect the person she loved, even if it meant covering up a dangerous reality. Lamar's addiction wasn't just a private struggle. It was chaotic, unpredictable, and deeply troubling. The documentary reveals scenes of him disappearing for days, only to be found in motels or dark alleyways surrounded by drug paraphernalia. It's a stark contrast to the polished image fans saw on TV. Behind the fame was a man spiraling out of control, unable to escape his demons. One of the most shocking confessions comes when Lamar reveals he took 12 times the recommended dosage of a male enhancement drug before his overdose. Let that sink in. 12 times. Combined with substance abuse, it created a deadly cocktail that pushed his body beyond its limits. He recalls suffering multiple strokes and heart attacks, events that would normally end a life, and yet somehow he survived. The infamous incident took place at the Love Ranch in Nevada, a location that has since become almost legendary in the story of Lamar Odom. In fact, the documentary reveals that the room where it all happened has been recreated as part of an exhibit at a haunted museum in Las Vegas. It's eerie, almost surreal, to think that one of the darkest moments of his life is now preserved as a piece of history. But beyond the headlines and shocking details, there's a deeper emotional layer to Lamar's story, one that began long before fame. He opens up about the devastating loss of his infant son, who died from sudden infant death syndrome. That kind of grief doesn't just fade away, it lingers, shaping a person's life in ways that are hard to fully understand. For Lamar, it became one of the many emotional wounds that contributed to his downward spiral.
And yet, despite everything, the addiction, the near-death experience, the broken relationships, Lamar Odom is still here, and that in and of itself is remarkable. In the documentary, he reveals that he's been sober for a period of time, taking steps towards rebuilding his life. It's not an easy journey, and he doesn't pretend that it is, but there's a sense of determination in his words, a desire to reclaim what he lost. Interestingly, his relationship with Khloé Kardashian has evolved as well. While they are no longer together, sources suggest they've remained on friendly terms. When Khloé agreed to participate in the documentary, she reportedly felt that the timing was right. It wasn't about reopening old wounds, it was about telling the truth. And for Lamar, the future may hold new opportunities. He's expressed interest in coaching basketball, potentially at college level and even in the NBA. It's a full-circle moment, a chance to return to the sport that once defined him, but this time with a new perspective. What makes this story so powerful isn't just the drama or the shocking revelations, it's the humanity behind it all. Lamar Odom's journey is a reminder that even those who seem to have everything can be fighting battles we can't see. It's about addiction, loss, love, and the fragile line between life and death. There's also something deeply unsettling about how close he came to losing it all and how many warning signs were overlooked along the way. The people around him, the industry, the fame, it all played a role in creating an environment where his struggles could remain hidden for far too long. Experts and insiders often point out that addiction at this level rarely exists in isolation. It's usually tied to deeper emotional trauma, unresolved pain, and a lack of support systems that truly address the root of the problem. In Lamar's case, it seems to have been a combination of all these factors, amplified by the pressures of fame. Comparing Lamar's story to other high-profile cases, it's clear that this pattern is not uncommon in the world of celebrities and athletes. The difference here is the level of transparency. By sharing his story so openly, Lamar is doing something many others haven't. He's exposing the reality behind the headlines. And perhaps that's what makes this documentary so compelling. It's not just about what happened, it's about understanding why it happened and what can be learned from it. For fans, it's a difficult watch. Seeing someone you admired at their lowest point is never easy, but it's also a powerful reminder of resilience. Lamar Odom didn't just survive, he's fighting to rebuild. As the documentary comes to an end, one question lingers. What does this mean for Lamar's future? Can he truly leave his past behind, or will it always be a part of him? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, his story is far from over. And maybe, just maybe, this time it will be defined not by tragedy, but by redemption.